Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. I can resist everything except temptation. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. You don't love someone for their looks or their clothes or for their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. A man who does not think for himself does not think at all. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. A pessimist is somebody who complains about the noise when opportunity knocks. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. No good deed goes unpunished. Life is too important to be taken seriously. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people whom we personally dislike. I am so clever that sometimes I don't understand a single word of what I am saying. The world is divided into two classes, those who believe the incredible and those who do the improbable. Her dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember that nothing worth knowing can be taught. A gentleman is one who never hurts anyone's feelings, unintentionally. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. Ordinary riches can be stolen, real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken from you. The heart was made to be broken. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he will tell you the truth. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. When the gods wish to punish us, they answer our prayers. Discontent is the first step in the progress of a man or a nation. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. The nicest feeling in the world is to do a good deed anonymously and have somebody find out. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Ultimately, the bond of all companionship, whether in marriage or in friendship, is conversation. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. The mystery of love is greater than the mystery of death. One should never trust a woman who tells one her real age. A woman who would tell one that would tell one anything. Everything in moderation, including moderation. I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there. The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself. One should always play fairly, but when one has the winning cards. A poet can survive everything but a misprint. The imagination imitates. It is the critical spirit that creates. The aim of life is self-development. To realize one's nature perfectly, that is what each of us is here for. Man can believe the impossible, but man can never believe the improbable. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. I am not young enough to know everything. To define is to limit. The advantage of the emotions is that they lead us astray. In this world, there are only two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. Society often forgives the criminal. It never forgives the dreamer. When one is in love, one always begins by deceiving oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. He has no enemies, but is intensely disliked by his friends. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live. It is asking others to live as one wishes to live. It is what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. A good friend will always stab you in the front. Questions are never indiscreet. Answers sometimes are. Fashion is a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Conscience and cowardice are really the same things. Conscience is the trade name of the firm. To lose one parent may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. One can survive everything nowadays except death, and live down anything except a good reputation. Memory is the diary that we all carry about with us. Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. The difference between literature and journalism is that journalism is unreadable and literature is not read. I put all my genius into my life. I put only my talent into my works. When people agree with me, I always feel that I must be wrong. A bore is someone who deprives you of solitude without providing companionship. There are only two kinds of people who are really fascinating: people who know absolutely everything and people who know absolutely nothing. For the only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty, and to someone else if she is plain. Life is never fair, and perhaps it is a good thing for most of us that it is not. Children begin by loving their parents. After a time they judge them. Rarely, if ever, do they forgive them. A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it. To do nothing at all is the most difficult thing in the world, the most difficult and the most intellectual. One should never trust a woman who wears mauve, whatever her age may be. Ambition is the last refuge of the failure. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, otherwise they'll kill you. The only thing one really knows about human nature is that it changes. Man is a rational animal who always loses his temper when he is called upon to act in accordance with the dictates of reason. Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter. One's real life is often the life that one does not lead. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. Those who are faithful know only the trivial side of love. It is the faithless who know love's tragedies. So I suppose society is wonderfully delightful. To be in it is merely a bore. But to be out of it is simply a tragedy. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. Illusion is the first of all pleasures. Some things are too important to be taken seriously. I have nothing to declare except my genius. Ultimately, we have just one moral duty: to reclaim large areas of peace in ourselves. Between men and women, there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. The one charm of marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties. Patriotism is the virtue of the vicious. A man who moralizes is usually a hypocrite. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. Every man's memory is his private literature. The old believe everything. The middle-aged suspect everything. The young know everything. It is perfectly monstrous the way people go about saying things against one behind one's back that are absolutely true. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. The thing that impresses men most about women is not beauty, but thoughtfulness. It is better to have a permanent income than to be fascinating. We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. The very essence of life is its uncertainty. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. Anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination.